Whoa, is this a migrant crisis? I am cussing myself. You know, I thought I didn't have the phone on me and I'm missing the sunrise. But the most important part, well, no, this ship, watching the ship go through the sunrise like that was just spectacular. I am absolutely busted up that I didn't catch it. I had it in my little pot here with chalk, my pot of chalk, and I didn't feel the weight of it. I thought, oh, I've left it in the car. Damn, sorry. Oh, that was such a scene. Beautiful. Anyway, I'm just quickly gonna, or have been, putting a bit of chalk and some of a flyer. But first the chalk, and then we'll get on with dropping a few flyers. I can't get over my dropping the ball like that. I'm like, oh man, you didn't bring the phone. You meant to catch this moment. It's beautiful. And then I start walking off and I'm like, oh, this is heavy. Oh yeah, there's the phone. There's the rising sun. This guy's going on a hard run here. I like it. Morning. All right. He's in a jig. I like it. I see that the news reports are creating confusion, as they normally do. From which to? Oh, how careless of me. I should introduce you to that white reflection, dusty sand reflecting white light from that yellow orb over there. Now, some people say that it's just not enough what you were taught in school about the shadow being caused by the earth, because obviously now the sun has risen, that moon hasn't changed at all in the last few hours, really. So you know, it's got nothing to do with being behind the shadow of the earth and all that Disney stuff. But it is a waning moon, and it's upside down from an English perspective. Like I will say that, you know, that head being the dragon's head down at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock area. That is not how I see it in England. And you know, if people in England are seeing it now, they're seeing a different image, inverted. You know, that's even rolling counter to this one. I haven't really had enough time to study this southern moon for reasons and another. Anyway, that was that. I was going to talk about quickly about the confusion coming through the media. Oh wait, this is a little bit of a. We had some rain last night, quite a bit actually, and so my chalk efforts of yesterday, most of them will be washed away except the stuff on the wall, which one of the security staff came and had a word with me about. He comes up to me, he knows my name somehow. Dave, I'm not very happy with you. I'll ask him why. What is, tell me where the lunar calendar is?
Yeah, talk here by...
The camera always makes people feel weird, right?
I think here by Suncoast, near Suncoast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it along the promenade? I can find it if I walk there.
Yeah.
I'll go and check it out. Lunar calendar.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just informing these two lovely people that actually they're the center of creation, and that the reason they lie about the globe is to deny you your special place actually here. So they're just hearing from me for the first time that really all of this body of water continues to be level. If you can see a ship at 5 kilometers, and then you ask that ship if he can see a ship ahead of him 5 kilometers, when does that ever become curved water? Yes, they're all looking over level bodies of water. And
you're not the first person that said to me that it's flat. Many said it to me.
Yeah, and it's biblical, right?
Yeah.
It's biblical. So it's kind of hidden in the Bible, or written in the Bible. So I just wanted to give you guys that. Is that a friend of yours?
All people.
All right, so you got to go. Guys, be well.
Bye.
Take care.
See you later if you come.
Yeah, definitely. I'll sort you out. Oh, you know what? I've got my phone in my pocket. I'm having this brilliant little flat Earth. Here's some hot truths. Here's some hot information for you. And then you pop that fake ball of yours, and then of course by the time I'll pull up the phone, the conversation has sort of lost its thread. Today I've been obviously off my steam. Morning, very fit man. The African man, the black African man, the physique has changed in the 30 years I've been away. You see more portly African dudes carrying that Western flab, and then you see more, Arnold Schwarzenegger type. Well, maybe not quite Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's a bit old school. The physique isn't quite that nowadays. But you know what I mean. And hey, good for them. These are the trappings and the joys and the experiences to be had for us all. You don't want to judge that at all. It's like, okay, go for it, lady. What? So yeah, so that's it's all good. I think people must have these experiences, but don't you think we should be having these experiences in a sort of honest and loving, sovereign way? I mean, is that not a reasonable thing to say? Because people feel like we're against, or anarchists in the way that we're against all of everything. And of course, there's a lot of wonderful things to be said about there's a lot of wonderful things to be said about about having modernity and that ship I missed going out of harbour earlier on. Man, I haven't forgiven myself for that. Hey, young man, has anyone told you that the mask could be affecting your health negatively? Have you heard that? Do you feel like you should wear the mask? Do you like wearing it, or do you feel like you have to wear it? You have to wear it. What if I told you didn't have to wear it? Like, do you mind if I ask you this question on camera? I won't be able to identify you behind that surgical mask. No, you know what? 2 years ago, if I had walked into a bank like that, they would have called the police. Now, if you don't wear one of those, they'll call the police, right? Yeah. And this is why it frightens people into compliance and going along with it. But do you know God? Have you come across God in your studies? Okay, because God is, I think, the creator of all things, and there's one rule that God has, which is to do no harm, to cause no one harm, right? And when I ask you to put on a mask, I might be asking you to cause yourself harm. My research has been censored by the authorities, so I will blank this piece of the conversation out. It feels like it's under attack. It feels like it's under threat. And so your breathing changes, your cortisol level changes in your body, and this can cause people down the line. South Africa has signed up to the UNESCO Declaration on Bioethics, and in that it states that no one can be forced to participate in any medical experiment or any medical thing such as this. No one can be forced to do that. You have to do it only by your consent, i.e. when you agree to it, only if you agree to it. And so by sort of wearing it, you're kind of agreeing to it. You're sort of just, all right, I'll wear it. But what they're using is bully boy tactics to frighten people into that. Either they're saying you're going to put other people at risk, you're going to put yourself at risk, or you're going to be threatened by the authorities for not following the rules. Now, rules are not things that we have to follow in this context, because it determines your own well-being. It's not, the golden rule of going around and not hurting anyone is great, but when it comes to yourself, then only you can harm yourself. Only you are allowed to harm yourself. If you choose to put a needle in your body as a drug user, that's your choice. Or alcohol, or too much food, or whatever, that's your choice. Drive a car too fast, that's your choice in a way, so long as you're not harming anyone else. But now you're kind of consenting to reducing your breath. It feels to me like, we've been tricked into giving our consent when we haven't been given all of the information. I'm going to give you one of my flyers because in this I set out some of the things that I think are very important, and also that the Human Rights Declaration that we have in place, which I cannot force you to cause yourself any harm, and if you feel like this is causing you harm, then the stores, the supermarkets and so on, they are acting against international law. And they're just tricking people by using this mandate so everyone kind of just goes along with it. But I'm trying to encourage people to say, hey, no, I don't have to consent. I'm not going out and being violent. I'm not calling on any violence against any authority. I'm simply saying that I am my own authority, and I get to choose for myself if I'm going to get drunk tonight, or if I'm going to take a needle, or if I'm going to cover up my breath. And I think that when we're recycling our steam, our lungs might start to get wet and all these other health complications. So I just wanted to offer that to you, food for thought. I know we live in a soup of disinformation, of propaganda, so it's hard to know who to trust, what information to trust. But if I say to people, trust God. God gave you these two nostrils and this mouth to filter the air, to breathe, and to do. It gave you an immune system. I wrote this on the road here a little while ago, and an older Muslim man came past me and said, absolutely, we were given the nose and the mouth to breathe. And this is how we should be breathing, not second guessing God and saying, oh, now I'm going to put this man-made filter, which might even have my... I mean, I'm not saying it is, but I'm just like, why would I add anything to this? Why would I complicate the breathing process in my body? I'd have to have very good evidence of that. So I went and looked at the statistics in this country, in South Africa, for the total number of people that die on average every year. In 2019, 550,000 people died, mostly of old age, as we'd expect, right? In 2020, 556,000 died, just 6,000 more. That's 1% more died. That's not a pandemic. So we need to go back and look at, was there ever a pandemic? And if there wasn't, which I'm asserting there never was, then why are we doing these things? If not, there's some other ulterior motive being played out here. And I'm not saying that it's to necessarily cause people harm, but a side effect of what's happening is, of course, that in a war, people are going to get hurt. There's collateral damage. But I think it's more about wanting to control your soul, actually wanting to control your connection to God, because breath is life. God gave us the breath of life. And if I steal of your breath, I'm stealing of your life, I'm stealing of your connection to the Most High. And I think that this is what they're trying to do, is they're trying to demean God's creation, i.e. you, and say you're such a slave that we're going to force you to breathe bad air and take all these medicines and all these sorts of things, rather than just trusting what God gave you, which is the oranges and the clean water and the fresh air. And these are the things I think we need to know, because I think for some reason it's like the devil's in charge, and they are trying to trick us into something that will be sort of transhuman, that'll be beyond what natural humans once experienced. Your great-grandparents, for example, might not recognize the world that we live in now, and in 2 or 3 generations' time it'll be look like some sort of Disney Pixar futuristic, horror movie. So that's my thoughts for you today, my friend. Is that useful? What's your name? Vito. I'll shake your hand, Mara. I can't make you sick. I promise you, I cannot make you sick. But bad information will perhaps do that. Good luck, man. Don't watch Friends. That's also propaganda. So it's a shame that lad was walking with this direction. Now he's turned the other way, and hopefully that's because he's going to really think about. Yeah. My mouth is getting a bit dry from yakking. I didn't bring water. I did bring a phone. Although in of personal retardation, I forgot that I had it and missed that sunrise. Guys, I've got one more morning in Durban, so maybe I'll catch it tomorrow morning. But it's to catch it in such a clear sky. Very special. I'm out of chalk, as you can see. And I want to thank the subscribers who kindly donated some of their hard-earned energy to this, because You know how it is when you got, I'm sure many of you have been in a similar financial predicament where, you know, you got very little money and you're so used to having so little money that you don't want to spend it on things that aren't absolutely essential. Now, of course, some are shouting on, this is absolutely essential. Of course it is absolutely essential, but when you've got a wife and child to feed and home, that's absolutely essential. Oh man, I should be filming some of these faces. Yeah, that's absolutely essential. You know, that's seeing the hijab. How many people were like incensed about that are now banging on the drum of, you know, mask up. The funny thing is, I went on Facebook I once or twice lately. It's not a place I inhabit very often, and so I put something out. I think actually it was I put out those stats, which no one has actually been able to offer me any alternative view of. Let me just give these friends of mine a flyer. Hi ma'am, can I offer you some information? It's free of charge and it's good for you. Trust God. Yeah. Security, looking at the information. How many seconds is he gonna get it? I normally find that people hang on to it longer than... Good luck. So, he's not in a very good mood. He looks like he was writing notes there, like he's the security detail manager and taking things very seriously. This guy's taking it very seriously, doing workouts on cam. That's impressive. Hey man, you're doing a workout on camera?
Yeah.
Do you have a YouTube or something?
I don't have a YouTube, I want Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah.
What's your Instagram?
Revamp Body Soul Fit.
Revamp
_,
yeah.
Body Soul Fit.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I train, I make healthy juices, some nutrition solutions for some people.
Yeah, you're in fantastic condition, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Self-taught.
Self-taught, how old are you?
I'm 32.
32, man. That's a nice age.
I'm trying.
Yeah. I was quite buff back then, but I'm 53 now, so I'm a
you
little
don't
bit...
look 53.
I'm a little bit out of
You look younger than all these guys who are wasting their life drinking and doing
Yeah. I'm busy doing flyering. I'm gonna break radio silence. I didn't really want to stop and chat. I'm hooning down this beach, flying as fast as I can. But I just saw something that I have never seen before in South Africa. And it is what it is, but it's a remarkable, for me anyway, it's a remarkable first. And that is that I just saw two 20-something black men walking towards me as a couple, holding hands. And
you know, live and let live is where I'm at, you know, but it just one of the more, you know, eye-raising changes that is being in the new normal, you know, that you know, these guys were, that kind of thing in the African community was very, very much verboten. And, you know, the normal influences of life don't see the same ratios of that kind of activity, you know, guy on guy kind of activity. But it's a modern phenomenon. Whatever the reasons, we could debate that, but it's kind of just part of the milieu of what goes on here. So there's the view. And I'm going to put this down and get on with work. Yeah, it's just a quiet day at the beach. There's not many people here, so I probably won't be able to get rid of too many of these flies. Oh, what's that? Whoa, is this a migrant crisis? Just a day at the beach. Awesome to see. So many people. You guys had a good swim? Yeah. Can I give you a flyer? I know your hands might be a little bit wet, but you want this information. I promise you it's valuable, life-changing information. It's why the government are lying. You know, why they crazy with all this crazy stuff, like Corona, all that. You know that in 2019, 550,000 people died in South Africa. That's the normal death rate, 550,000. Did you never ever hit? 1 year. Sorry? Period of 12 months. 12 months. A period of 12 months in 2019, 550,000. That's the normal death rate. Guess what the death rate was in the pandemic year? 556. 6,000 more. That's not a pandemic. That's 1% increase. So there's no pandemic. Good luck, man. Well, let me get back to work. Always goes a little bit different on with the camera on. You wouldn't have seen that either, just doing the selfie pose. Nice. Join in, dude. See, African culture is a little bit more, it's a bit like South American culture, I think, where people are a bit more kind of flavorful with each other, you know? You pull that off in Europe, you know, they'd be like on the phone to the old bill. Yeah. And then there's so many of these ragged folk. Oh, it's just desperate. Desperate. Sorry. It's exhausted me actually. Trying to help people because it's you know, it ends up being a never-ending kind of pit of need, and you're not actually addressing the foundational traumas and you know, structural challenges, you know. It would be much better to, you know, build communities from fresh. Yes, and it doesn't actually, you know, as I say that, I know it doesn't solve the trauma issues that people have. It's a deep road, but I guess you got to start somewhere.